one of these hitmen guys. That's who we are.
Yeah.
But some of you guys know who I am, and that's cool. Yeah.
When I first saw those T-shirts, I thought it was that Monster Energy drink.
Cool. So here's my question. I want to start by asking you guys today. We're going to go with your answers, and then we'll go with my answers later. Okay? So let's start with this. What is a warrior? Just throw out words that come to your mind. If you were to describe a warrior, what does a warrior look like? What is that person?
300.
What?
Spartan.
A Spartan, okay.
Yeah.
Knight. Ruggedly handsome.
Ruggedly handsome.
Rugged.
Master Chief.
Knight. Somebody else. What is describing a warrior? No, just throw it out. One word. What?
Knight.
Knight.
Arbiter.
Here, hold
Black. Strong.
Strong, okay.
Courageous.
Fierce.
Courageous.
Handsome.
Meek. David. Ridiculously looking.
Go with descriptive words, not names.
Deadly.
Deadly.
Brave.
Gruesome.
Handsome. Handsome.
Beautiful.
Broad shoulders and positive chin.
What's pretty true?
What's that? Willing?
Put your hand up and say it.
I do it.
Anything else?
Deadly. Oh no.
Okay. What is not a warrior? If you were to say, yeah, okay. Chicken.
A woman.
Now let's get away from animals. Descriptively, what is not a warrior?
A lady. Coward.
Coward.
That's sexy.
Do we got that out?
Okay, skinny. We'll go with that. What else? Weak.
Hey, that's
Wise
so
like eight.
skinny.
What else?
Ugly.
Ugly, yeah.
Okay.
4.
Come on, somebody else. What's not a warrior?
A woman.
This is you guys' answer, not my answer.
What's he supposed to be?
In the middle.
We'll get to that. What's not a warrior?
Tall.
Okay, I got a good one.
Sure.
Sissy.
Unorthodox.
Okay,
Short.
let's talk about something now, okay?
They don't work.
Let's talk about something now. We'll get back to some lists here in a little bit, okay? We'll get back to some lists.
They don't wear shorts.
We'll get back to lists in a bit, okay, guys? What we want to talk about today is being a warrior. You guys are all here, and you need to understand something. You got anybody here who's under the age of 12? Under the age of 12? Wow. Only one? Okay. Anybody here who's over the age of 18 who, well, I know some of you guys, but I mean over the age of 18 who's still a student here at the conference? Okay. So the rest of you guys, you all fit in this realm, but you need to know, on under 12, society thinks, well, you're a little kid. Over 18, they think, well, you're now an adult. It's all lies, because you're all young men. Whether you're 10 years old or whether you're 25 years old, you're all young men. Okay? And so part of the understanding you're going to have today is that what we're going to talk about with being a warrior is countercultural. It's not our culture's definition, and it's not our culture's definition of manhood, okay? Our culture is full of deception. Okay? The world that you live in, it is driven primarily not by God, it is driven primarily by those that would draw you away from God. Okay? So when we're talking today, you need to understand that there's a little bit of groundwork here we're going to do. One, I'm just going to give you some history, okay? 2,000 years ago, every single one of you, okay, would either be married already or have somebody lined up that you were going to get married to, and you would already either have a trade or you would be working on some form of trade or business to support you and your family. 2,000 years ago, okay? 1,000 years ago, a few less of you would be already married, and a few less of you would be as figured out in life, but only marginally so. Okay? 200 years ago, society as a whole in Western culture begins to embrace something that we call humanism. Now, humanism says that people are supreme. That's what humanism says. That's where you get terms like free will. It's humanism. It's not Bible. It's humanism. Free will says whatever you decide, whatever you want to do, you can do because you are God. That's humanism. Okay? So humanism begins to be embraced, and what begins to happen is there is this pinnacle picture, and we happen to be meeting in a school today, where it says education and knowledge is of what's greatest important in your life. And we see that transition happening. 100 years ago, it becomes acceptable for 13 and 14-year-old males to be silly, lacking maturity, and useless when it comes to life in the community. It's around 100 years ago. Around 70 to 50 years ago, the age range is expanded to about 13 to 16. And so if you fit in that 13 to 16 year age group, you were expected, you didn't have it figured out, you weren't an adult, you weren't a little kid, you were a teenager, and you just kind of knew nothing about life. Over time, all the way to today, it starts around 11 or 12 and it goes all the way up to about 29 depending on what group of people you talk to, and depends on if you're still playing video games in mom's basement while you work part-time at 7-Eleven. Okay? And they don't expect you to have life figured out. So in the span of a couple hundred years, you guys would have been considered men. And now you're kind of in this haze. So what we want to do is we want to talk today about some things that should help you understand who you're supposed to be, not who the culture tells you to be. Okay? So that's what we're here for today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this warrior concept, being a warrior man. You guys were defining, you did an okay job. You had some good words there. Okay? You had some good words. Okay? I want to give you some credit because you did have some good stuff. Okay? But now we're going to go with my list. Okay? Okay. We'll start with the not list. What is not a warrior man? Okay, here's what's not a warrior man. We're going to start with this. A girl. Okay? Step one, you got to be male. Okay. Now somebody